Oh, hey, it's Sabrina. So today I am sharing with you my October TBR. So for the month of October, I am participating in 3 readathons and they're all month long. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get started and share with you all the books I want to read for October and go through each readathon. So the first readathon is Spooktober, and it is hosted by Vanessa F. Paper Fairy. As always, I will have all of the hosts and links listed down below. This is its 5th year, and I've been able to participate the last couple years. So there are teams, and the team that I went with is the Dance Floor Playlist. So the teams are based off like the fact that we're in a house and we're all going to a Halloween party. So each team is like somehow related to the party. So I went ahead and joined the Dance Floor Playlist. And so the first prompt is Monster Mash. Read a book with a monster in it, figuratively or literally. And I went ahead and went with Fever Dream by George R.R. Martin. Now, I've never read anything that wasn't Game of Thrones. However, this book has vampires in it, and it's set in the 1850s in America. So I'm really excited for this one. It's only like 450 pages, so I hope that I can fly through this one in one sitting. Prompt number 2 is I Put a Spell on You, Read a Book with Magic, and the book that I went with is Priory of the Orange Tree. And this is a really great like fantasy historical fiction book. It's about a queendom, and in this kingdom that people have magical powers, and it's about 800 pages. It's a really long one, and it's actually the first book that I'm going to read for the month of October. I have it on my Kindle on loan from my library, and so I want to read it before that expires, and I'm just really excited about this one. Prompt number 3 is Time Warp. Read a book set in a different time. The book that I chose was Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno something, but I'll have it on the screen. This is also a book that I have on loan from the library, and I've been wanting to read it for a very long time because it's written by a Hispanic author and it's set in Mexico and it's supposed to be creepy. I don't know where like the time warp or like the difference in time happens in this book, but I know that it does because I've heard from other people. So if you've read Mexican Gothic or you're going to read it this month, be my buddy. Let's read it together. Prompt number 4 is Superstition. Read a book based off of mythology or folklore. I went ahead and went with the mythology book, and I actually have the paper copy. It's over there, but I'm not going to get it. And it is Circe by Madeline Miller, I think. And this is about the Greeks, and I just love anything like Greek mythology. Like anything set back in history is just really interesting to me. And so I don't even know the story behind Circe. Like, I don't know what Greek goddess she is, but I'm really excited about it. Okay, the next challenge is Thriller. Read a book that's a thriller. And I went ahead and picked up The Couple Next Door by Sherry LaPena. And this is a thriller about a couple who I think their kid goes missing, or their kid dies suspiciously, and so people in their neighborhood are kind of like trying to figure out what happened to this kid, and it's supposed to be a thriller, and there's supposed to be like twists and turns. So this is the one that I chose for that one, and it's like not super long. It is 350 pages, so hopefully I can fly through this one in a few days. And yeah. Okay, so those are all the books that I have chosen for the Spooktober Readathon. Let's go ahead and move on to the Hocus Pocus Readathon. So the Hocus Pocus Readathon it's the 2nd year, so I was able to participate last year. And there are also teams, and you are reading for points. So I went ahead and chose Team Undead, and each team has a different set of prompts, and there is a weakness and a strength, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. So the first challenge is read the group book. So for Team Undead, that is Cemetery Boys. If I'm not mistaken, this has LGBTQ relationships in it, but let me know if I might be wrong about that. This is also another like creepy book. It's YA, and I'm looking forward to this because I know a lot of people have talked really highly about it, and that prompt is worth 15 points. Okay, prompt number 2 is Binks. Read a book that has to do with family. The one that I went ahead and went with was Sabrina and Karina. And I actually put this on hold in my library a couple weeks ago, and it just came in yesterday. So I'm so excited that I'm able to read this on my Kindle. Sabrina and Karina is about Hispanic family, and it talks about their different different stories about their family, what they've been through. And if I'm not mistaken, it's set in like South America, but it might be not. It might be set in like America, but I'm not sure. So I'm mostly excited because it has my name on the cover, Sabrina. So I really hope there's a character named Sabrina, and hopefully I like her. But that one is super quick. It's a collection of stories. So I think I can get through that in like one sitting. Prompt 3 is Billy. Read a book with a morally gray character. And I went ahead and went with Priory of the Orange Tree. This is a very chunky monster. I'm gonna read, it's about magic and about, it's like historical fiction fantasy, because it's about like a queendom and a queen. I brought this book up earlier, so a lot of the books that I'm gonna bring up are gonna overlap because I cannot read like a ton of books in a month. I think I'll get into it at the end. Prompt number 4 is Emily. Read a book about the paranormal, and this is also worth 10 points. And this is another, a book that I'm reading from another challenge, and that is Fever Dream. So like I said, Fever Dream has to do with vampires, so that's what I picked for this prompt. Okay, so now let's hop into the other information. So Team Undead's strength is we get to double up on one prompt of our choosing. And then our weakness is we have to have a 24-hour readathon. Now for me, that's not really gonna be possible for me, unfortunately, because I'm a mom, I need sleep, and I have a toddler to take care of. So I'm gonna try to read for like, at least 12 hours in a day straight, but I don't think I can do the full 24, but I'm gonna definitely try and participate in this. But yeah, that's our weakness. And then also, every 100 points, or every 100 pages you read towards each prompt, you get an extra 2 points. So yeah, and then also if you read or watch the Hocus Pocus movie, I think you get an extra 15 points as well. So there's Team Undead, Team Sanderson Sisters, and then Team Trick or Treat, and each team has different prompts and different strengths and weaknesses. So if you're interested in that one, I will link it down below, but it starts October 1st, which by the time I upload this, it will be October 1st. Okay, and the final readathon that I'm going to participate in is GothTober. I don't know if this is its first year or second year. I think it's in its first year, and I forgot who it's hosted by, but I'll put all the readathon information down below, and links to all the hosts and the people who are running those readathons. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so there's a total of 14 prompts in this readathon, and unfortunately, this readathon doesn't have any points or like prizes at the end. It's literally just for fun, which I'm fine with. I don't need a prize. However, I also don't think I can read 14 different books, and I love that these challenges you're able to double up on them. So one book can, be for 4 different prompts if you want it to. So I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you what I chose, what prompts I'm doing, and what books I'm reading for them. So the first prompt is disability representation. Read a book that represents a sort of disability or illness. And the book that I went with is Not If I See You First by Eric Lindstrom. And I don't know if you can tell by the title, but it's about a blind girl, and it's YA. So this came out, I want to say like 3 years ago, and I got it in like a book of the month. So I'm really happy I have this one, and I'm actually excited to read it because I don't read a lot of books with disability representation, unfortunately. I read a lot of books about mental illness, but not like physical disabilities, only like mental disabilities. Okay, the next prompt is BAME author. So that means read a book by a Black, Asian, or ethnic minority author. And the book that I chose is Mexican Gothic, because it's by Sylvia something. And I already talked about Mexican Gothic, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the next prompt. So the next two prompts are for the same book, so I'm going to go ahead and just say them. So the first prompt is read a book with red on the cover, and then read a book with undead, and that's Fever Dream. The next prompt is gray morality, read a book with a morally gray character. I went with Priory of the Orange Tree. Okay, so the next two prompts are read a book with that has a liar or a person that tells lies. Also, read a book with a female protagonist, and the book that I chose was Empress of All Seasons. This is about a girl who I think it's like set within a kingdom, and she has to keep a secret from somebody, and she can only reveal a secret at a certain time. But like I said, this is another like fantasy sort of book, and it's not super long, so I'm really excited for it. So yeah, she basically has to keep a secret. So it's like a white lie, if that makes sense. The next prompt is dark academia, read a book that's set in like a school setting or a university setting. And the book that I went with is actually Midnight Library. I don't think it's set in a school, but it's set in a library. So I consider that like an academia setting. And I'm just really excited about Midnight Library. I've been talking about it forever. My library ordered it and I was the first one on the list. So I got it as an ebook for my Kindle, and I'm just so excited. So if you're not familiar with what Midnight Library is about, it's about a lady who, I guess she works in a library, I'm not sure, but every time she gets a different book, it tells her life, story, but in a different way. So every time she reads a new book, her life happens differently. So different events happen. So basically every book is a new telling of how her life went. And so I think that's really cool. It's a new concept and I'm just really excited. Okay, and the last challenge is watch a movie or a TV show with your favorite like vampire drama, and I went ahead and went with Vampire Diaries. Like I'm so down to marathon or like binge watch Vampire Diaries. I've seen it all the way through like once or twice, and so I'm excited to do it again because I love Stefan and Damon, mostly Damon. So yeah. And then the other prompts are read a book with LGBTQ representation, read a book that is a modern retelling of like a classic goth or horror novel, read a book that's set in a foreign country, read a book that's your oldest purchased book, and then read a book that has bones in the cover or says what bones in the title. And that's it. So so those are all the prompts for GothTober. They also have a calendar that talks about when they're going to do reading sprints, when they're going to do like activities and live streams. So like I said, I'll link all that stuff down below. But the final total, all the books I'm attempting to read at the end of by the end of the month is I think 10. So wish me luck. I will definitely need it. I don't think I've ever read this many books in 1 month. I think the most I've read is like 6 or 7, but that was before I had a kid. So I don't know. I am gonna be reading books based off of when they expire from the library, but also I'm gonna put priority on Hocus Pocus books because I do want our team to win and get more points. So, and then once I read all the books for that, then it kind of just, to me, it doesn't really matter if I read the GothTober books or the Spooktober books. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you are going to be reading for October. If you're participating in any read-a-thons, there are read-a-thons out there that are for just a week, 5 days. But me, realistically, month long is what I can participate in. So yeah, that is it. I will talk to you guys very, very soon, and thanks for watching.